The house was already an inferno when Luna, the family's German shepherd, suddenly broke free from her leash. Before anyone could stop her, she charged straight into the flames. Firefighters froze, but when Luna reappeared moments later, carrying what she did in her mouth, everyone went silent. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. It was a calm, golden morning in the suburbs. The sunlight poured through the kitchen window as Sarah hummed softly, preparing breakfast. Her husband Tom sat at the table reading the paper, while their baby girl, little Emma, giggled in her high chair. At their feet lay Luna, their loyal German shepherd, watching every move with gentle eyes. Luna had always been more than just a pet. She was family. The morning felt peaceful, ordinary, almost too perfect. No one knew that within the hour, that same sunlight would be swallowed by thick, black smoke, and Luna's devotion would be tested in a way no one could imagine. The first sign of trouble was faint, just a thin curl of smoke slipping through the hallway ceiling. Sarah frowned, thinking maybe something was burning on the stove. But when she turned, her heart stopped and flames were licking up the kitchen wall. "Tom," she screamed, her voice breaking. Within seconds, the peaceful morning turned into chaos. Smoke filled the air, alarms blared, and baby Emma began to cry. Tom grabbed a wet towel and wrapped it around Sarah and the baby, shouting for them to get out. The fire spread faster than anyone could believe, devouring curtains, furniture, everything in its path. Neighbors rushed outside as thick, black smoke poured from the windows. Someone dialed 911. Sirens echoed in the distance. Through it all, Luna barked wildly, running in circles, her ears flat and eyes wide. She seemed to sense something no one else did. As firefighters arrived, one tried to grab her collar, but she pulled free, growling toward the blazing doorway. And before anyone could react, Luna made her choice. Lowering her head, she sprinted straight toward the burning house. "Luna, no!" Sarah's scream tore through the chaos, but it was too late. The German shepherd vanished into the thick wall of smoke, her fur disappearing in the orange glow. Firefighters shouted, rushing to block the entrance, but the heat was unbearable. The crowd could only watch, frozen in horror as the flames swallowed her whole. Tom wrapped his arms around Sarah, holding her trembling body as she sobbed uncontrollably. "She's gone," he whispered, his voice breaking. The sound of cracking wood filled the air, each pop like a heartbeat fading away. But then, someone pointed. "Wait, look!" Through the smoke, a faint shape began to emerge. Luna stumbled forward, coughing, her once golden coat now singed black with ash. She was limping, her breathing ragged, yet in her mouth she carried something. As she reached the firefighters, the object fell to the ground. Emma's baby blanket, charred at the edges but unmistakable. The crowd gasped. The dog everyone thought was panicking had run into the fire for something that belonged to the baby she loved. Before anyone could catch their breath, Luna looked back toward the burning doorway, the flames roaring louder now, the house groaning under its own weight. Her chest heaved, her body trembling, but her eyes were fixed on something deep inside. "Stay! Luna, stay!" one firefighter shouted, reaching for her. But in one swift motion she pulled away, and without hesitation she plunged back into the fire. "No!" Sarah screamed, collapsing to her knees. Tom tried to rush forward, but two firefighters held him back. "You can't go in there, it's collapsing." One yelled, the world seemed to slow. Every second stretched endlessly. The house crackled, windows shattered, and a part of the roof caved in. Smoke billowed so thick it turned the day to night. Minutes passed. No sign of her. Just silence, then movement. A firefighter pointed, voice trembling. "There, she's coming out." Luna stumbled through the smoke, her legs barely holding her up. In her mouth, something tiny. A small, trembling kitten, its fur singed but alive. The crowd fell silent. Firefighters froze. And in that instant, every heart watching broke at once. Firefighters rushed forward, wrapping Luna in a damp blanket as she finally collapsed to the ground. Her chest rose and fell in shallow breaths, her fur scorched and blackened. Beside her, the tiny kitten trembled, letting out the weakest of mews. Its paws were burned, its whiskers singed mundane, but it was alive. Sarah stared in disbelief. "A kitten?" she whispered, glancing at Tom. "We don't have a cat." One of the neighbors stepped closer, eyes wide. "Wait, wasn't your kitten missing?" The little gray one? I remember you said it disappeared last week. Sarah's mouth fell open. She had searched for days, crying when she couldn't find it. Could it be? Then it all made sense. Luna's strange trips to the basement, the way she guarded that door, her restless nights. She had known where the kitten was all along. She had been keeping it safe. Even as fire tore through the house, Luna had remembered and gone back for it. The realization hit everyone like a wave. Luna hadn't been panicking. She had been protecting family. And now every tear that fell carried both heartbreak and awe. The crowd stood in silence as firefighters worked around Luna, their faces streaked with soot and tears. One of them gently placed an oxygen mask over her muzzle, whispering, "Stay with us, girl. You're a hero." Her sides heaved, each breath shallow but determined. Sarah dropped to her knees beside her, tears streaming down her face. She stroked Luna's head with trembling hands. "You saved him," she whispered, glancing at the kitten bundled in a towel. "You saved them both." The little kitten let out a faint meow, curling closer to Luna's paw as if to comfort her. Firefighters exchanged glances, their hardened expressions melting into quiet admiration. Even Tom, standing behind Sarah, couldn't hold back his tears. Luna's tail moved. Just a faint wag, a final reassurance that she had done what she came to do. Then her eyes slowly closed, her body finally giving in to exhaustion. The paramedics lifted her carefully, carrying her toward the animal rescue van. Sirens wailed softly as they pulled away. The crowd clapped quietly, not out of celebration, but out of reverence. For a dog whose love had burned brighter than the flames themselves. Days later, the house was nothing but ashes and memories, but inside the local animal hospital, hope flickered quietly. Luna lay wrapped in soft blankets, her breathing steady, her eyes slowly opening to the sound of familiar voices. Sarah and Tom were there every day, holding her paw, whispering how much she was loved. Beside her, the tiny gray kitten, Milo, slept curled against her chest, alive and safe because of her. News of Luna's bravery spread across town, then across the country. People called her the dog with the heart of fire. But to Sarah, she was simply family, the one who refused to leave anyone behind. Standing beside Luna's bed, Sarah whispered through tears, "You didn't just save a life. You reminded us what love really means." The kitten stirred. Luna's tail wagged faintly and the room filled with quiet warmth. Sometimes, heroes have paws.